All right. Well, you guys, welcome back. If you are new here, we are the Habit team. The Habit is a nutrition coaching company made for women by women. Our program is built for you with coaches who put your goals, lifestyle, and personality first. If you want to learn more about us, head to the episode notes or go to thehabit.com. That's habit with a Y to either request more information or book your free discovery call. All right. Welcome back. This is episode 5, and you got Coach Zan and Coach Fairlane on the mic. And today we are going to be talking about, I feel like, a hot topic recently, or at least we've been chatting a lot about it with our clients, but the supplement creatine and the misconceptions behind it and how it can be super beneficial for women, especially women as they start nearing, perimenopause or getting into their late 30s and 40s. And so we wanted to kind of debunk some of these myths, kind of talk about the benefits behind why women should start implementing this. And then Fairlane's going to chat a little bit about her personal experience because she started utilizing it and she's been seeing amazing results. And so, here we are.
Yeah,
Welcome,
so
Fairlane.
funny. Hi, Zan. Sorry, I'm like jumping into the topic already, but
Love it.
creatine is one of those supplements that I wouldn't say I was scared of, but just like anyone, protein supplements so easy because it's out there and there's so many different variety, etc. But like creatine is always one of those that I was like, no, why do I need it? Like I don't need it. But I've only really this is probably I would say my second year that's like I've consistently been taking it, and it's part of my routine now, and I do. It's one of the things I definitely recommend to most of my clients, especially if they are a little bit on the older side. I've just seen so many different benefits from it, and not just in fitness and recovery and muscle gains and not that perspective, but in so much more. And that's why I push it to my client. I won't say push it, like I'm not that pushy, but that's why I recommend it, is because of for anything, like the cognitive function that the things that I've experience from it is definitely something that every woman really at this point should be taking. So by the end of this episode, hopefully Zan will start taking it too.
Hey, you might convince me. And it's not that I'm against it.
Yeah.
It's that I've felt, I'm only 32. I'm turning 33 in a couple of months. And I haven't really felt, I guess, the need for it.
Yeah, for sure.
As some of my women who are in their 40s and they're talking to me about some of the symptoms, especially just brain fog and fatigue, and they feel their performance and their workouts have been declining. And so that's when I really start to talk about it and push it. And so, again, supplements are exactly how they sound. It's to supplement something that might be lacking. And so if it's not lacking yet, it's not necessary. But after we talk through some of the symptoms and things that we want to put on your radar, it might be something that you would want to consider implementing into your routine.
Yeah.
And one of the first things like Fairlane nailed in terms of a myth is that most people think it's just for muscle gain and, for gym goers or muscle builders. And that is one of the biggest misconceptions. Women equate it with men, essentially, getting as buff as possible. And I would say the other thing that scares a lot of women, and myself too, when I first was learning about it years ago, is that women can gain a few pounds on the scale.
This is true.
It's water retention, but that's still a very scary concept for most. And so that I know has also deterred a lot of women in the past. And so we want to talk through that as well.
Yeah.
But what do you say to your clients, the ones that you're talking to about how they should be implementing this and they are kind of concerned about the things that I just said in terms of, I don't want to get too muscular. I don't want to gain weight, even if it is water retention. How do you talk through that with them?
I tried my best to really explain the science behind it because it is, creatine is already something it's occurring in our bodies. Everybody has it, right? It's essentially a building block of protein, and what you're doing is almost turning on a switch. With creatine too, it's like you have to almost saturate your body for your body to actually start using it. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about it as well, is that, oh, I've been taking it, for 3-4 months, but I haven't really noticed anything at all. But you have to take it consistently for it to work. So if you forget it, like you took it once a week, then you're not really getting any benefits of it, because you almost have to supplement your body for it to start using it. In terms of like the number on the scale, I mean, I've never been a proponent of the number on the scale. My
Mm-hmm.
my go-to terminology, and then all my clients will know this, is that the number on the scale is just your gravitational pull on Earth. That's how I like to explain it, because it really
Wait,
is.
I
Like,
love that.
it
I'm
is.
stealing that.
Go ahead. Like, I love
Yes.
saying that, because fuck, like, to this day, there's still that misconception of the number on the scale. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
just so much emotion, and there's so much like attachment to it, that it's sometimes it's really hard to break that thought. And you
Mm-hmm.
have to be creative about it to try to explain them the best that you could to try to understand. But I think it's also once they start experiencing the change in their body, particularly, those women that lose a ton of inches, but their weight stays the same. Like, you've have clients like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've all had clients like that. And it's just like mind blowing. And even to us coaches, when we see the results like that from our clients, we're like, holy shit. Like, yeah, like
Yes.
this is
Mm-hmm.
what true fat loss is. And then that's how, I bring it all back. Like, this is why the number on the scale doesn't mean anything. It's your gravitational pull on Earth. That's it. That's it.
It's gravity. That's
Yeah,
it.
it really is. Like, and one of the things I always like to like explain to them too is like, I want you to weigh yourself first thing in the morning, and then I want you to
Mm-hmm.
weigh yourself right before you go to bed. Explain that to me. And you didn't
Mm-hmm.
gain weight in a matter of 16 hours through the day. Like, there's that's not possible. It is because you ate some food, maybe you didn't poop, that weighs something in your body. That's waste. Yeah, so I try to dumb it down as much as possible. And then same goes with trying to explain creatine. Like, you almost have to like find the most simplest way to explain it, because and nowadays there's so many things on the internet that just, oh,
Mm-hmm.
believe this, don't believe that. And it's hard to almost get to them, because they come back to you with like another question. But
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
yeah.
I mean, like you said, the number on the scale is so irrelevant. I actually love when clients don't see
Yes,
weight loss, but
same.
they see inches lost,
Same.
because that ultimately helps them detach from that
Yeah.
number on the scale.
Yeah.
And it's not to say, like, even as coaches, of sure, if we saw a certain number on the scale, we might have like a slight little jolt of
Yes.
an emotional reaction, but we have been doing this for so long that we know how to kind of talk ourselves off the ledge,
Uh-huh.
so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so first and foremost, when it comes to creatine, yes, you could potentially gain a couple of pounds of purely water
Very
retention.
temporary.
But if you're, yeah, very temporary too. And that's also what I wanted to touch on as well, is that, we hound into our clients all the reasons why our weight fluctuates on a daily
Yeah.
basis. You add in creatine, that's just going to be another variable for you. But if you learn to detach yourself from that number and actually focus on the benefits, then you actually aren't going to be skipping over things that could be helping with your health journey. And just to a little side note, creatine truly is one of the most researched
It is.
supplements out there. Otherwise, honestly, we wouldn't be talking about
Yeah.
this. There's so many convoluted things out there on the internet, like Verlaine just mentioned, but we're confident and comfortable enough talking about creatine because it really has been researched that much. And we're here to tell you the facts and not all the kind of bullshit you see on the
Yeah.
internet.
Yep. And I love
um,
too that it's actually more talked about now than it has been in a long time,
mhm,
I feel like. 'Cause it's like you said, right, it's one of the most researched supplement out there, and I think because of that, we're learning so much more about it, and not just in the gym bro,
mhm,
benefits of it, and that's why, we're here today talking about it, especially, those women that are in perimenopause or in their menopause phase, because it can potentially be super helpful, not just, again, in fitness or your muscle gains or whatnot.
mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So as Ferlene was saying, we naturally produce it in our
Mhm.
bodies, and we also can get creatine through our diet, specifically like red meats and fish. But as we age, our creatine stores start to deplete, and sometimes it's not enough through our diet unless you're eating pounds and
Yeah.
pounds of red meat every day, which we do not suggest. You're simply just not going to be able to consume enough.
Yeah.
And so this is where the supplementation comes into play. And what another thing that I always tell my clients too is because a lot of women want to do this as naturally as possible, right?
Mhm,
And they're like,
true.
we don't want supplements or meds or anything. And I get that and we'll never be pushy. But I always explain this is something already
It's
that
already,
is
yes, in
it's
your body.
already in your body. We
Yes.
already produce
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So I promise you're not putting some foreign substance
Yeah.
into your body. You're just helping kind of restore some of those things.
Mhm.
And so basically, as you start to age, your metabolism, all the fun things start to slow down, your bone density decreases, your muscle mass unfortunately starts to deteriorate. And so, what can you do to combat some of those effects? And it is supplementing with creatine.
Yeah.
And so, this is why we do talk about it with some of our clients who are kind of getting into, I mean, we all age, but get closer
Yeah.
to that 40 plus mark. And then they start to, experience some of this. So, for you, Verlaine, when did you ultimately I know you said you've only been adding it in about, like, 2 years
Yeah.
now. Was there anything that you were experiencing that caused you to really start, like, researching it and wanting to implement it into your own diet?
I think as it got really popular, people talking about it more and more, that's when I started to really, like, dove in. Like, I've had you from and for how long I've been doing this, I've had clients before where I was like, "You don't need creatine." Like, "No, you're fine." Like, I've had clients where I've
Mhm.
had to tell them that because I knew nothing about it other than it's a supplement that I don't really need. And then the more I kinda learned, I did my own research, listened to some podcasts, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, maybe this is something that could benefit me." In terms of, like, any kind of symptoms at that point in time, I didn't have anything per se, but I guess I little deep dive here is that as most of you know, I have that pituitary tumor that does kind of affect my hormones already. So I would say that that's one of the things that kind of gave me that, the light bulb was like, this may be able to help me with just hormone functions in general. The what I have is it elevates my progesterone levels. So as women, right, we have those two main hormones, and I wanted to kind of not be reliant on some type of medication for the rest of my life because essentially that's what I'd have to do. And that's kind of why I wanted to do it. And then, the muscle gain and like seeing more benefits at the gym, less fatigue.
Girl, you are strong as fuck
I've,
now.
I know it's kind
Dude,
of
it
wild
has
to me.
been wild. Just little side note, everyone. Verlaine and I actually like know each other in real life, and we met at a CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this girl wore. I remember she told me she wore a size 2 in
Yes.
Lululemon, like to me, that's infants. She was no, and don't get me wrong, you
Tiny.
were muscular.
Yeah,
You were
I
muscular,
was.
but you were
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah.
And you look so freaking bomb now. And just
Thanks,
watching your
girl.
gym videos, oh my God. How much strength have you
I
gained?
mean, it's actually wild to me because I thought I was strong before when I was, no
Mm-hmm.
baby and like just pretty much living my own life with no major responsibilities. Um, I mean, I would say I've gained at least 20, 30% more strength now than I have. And it is And obviously my workout routine too has changed like a lot. And I would say,
Mhm.
we both do CrossFit. I haven't necessarily been like a religious CrossFitter, I would say, for the last 2 years. I would
Yeah,
say,
same.
I like
Mhm.
kind of trickle it here and there. I like at least maybe 1 or 2 metcons from time to time, but I've primarily just done a lot more strength work and less time at the gym, which is again another wild
Mhm.
concept to me because I would be like the gym rat. And yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that because the I just posted something about the changes in my body, and I forgot to put on there that, yeah, I used to wear a size 2 in Lulus, and now I'm either between a 6 and an 8, and I'm like, "Give it to me."
Booty gains,
Yeah,
girl.
and like, same thing with the number on the scale, right? We there's that number of like, okay, I want to be this weight or I want to wear this
Mhm.
size. I used to be that person too. Like I'm like I have to be a size 2. Like there was time in my life where I would go and shop and I was like, okay, size 0 or double 0. Like that's what I'm getting. If it's too big, no, I'm not getting it. And now I have to go
Mhm.
like 5, size 7. I don't even know what size I am because it's like I don't buy clothes
Well, and partially
anymore.
because all we do is wear leggings anyway.
Yeah, that too. And, like, when some of my clients come to me and they're like, "My sports bras don't fit," and I was like, "It's probably because your muscle gains, baby. Those lats are probably booming." And, like, it's hard
Yes.
to understand that
Poppin'.
concept because, again, you're sizing up, but it's not necessarily because 'cause you've gained weight, it's because you've gained some muscle and you're getting some definitions that's changing your
Mhm.
body. But, yeah, so
Absolutely.
kinda going back to where we were prior to that, but no, I definitely have seen a lot of change, and when I first started taking creatine, I was not as regular as I am now because it was
Mhm.
powder form, so I like the gummies.
Oh, girl, I'm like a child. I still eat, vitamin gummies every single day because 'cause I'm
Yes.
like, "This is more fun."
It is, and the brand that I get from Legion, they've only had 1 flavor, and it was, like, sour, lemon drop or something like that, but they've just released sour watermelon, sour raspberry, and I was like, "Ooh,
Mm.
sign me up." So I
Yes,
actually just
game
ordered
changer.
some of that, but yeah, no, the gummies have been a very much a game changer for me with my consistency because I just, like, put it out on the countertop, and I just, like, pop them up whenever I see
Yep,
it.
yep, love it.
Um
I know, it's so much easier to remember to
it
take it
is,
too.
yeah, because some like, creatine too is, like it's obviously you you can buy it mostly in powder form, but it's not like it has a taste, but you still have to mix it in water, and I don't know, it's just
Mhm,
there's, like, a lot more involved to it, but they also have capsules now too. Again, it's just been gaining so much popularity that there's so many different forms that you can get. The one side note with the gummies is if you are in a cut, it's like an easy 50 calories, I think. So
mhm, mhm.
if you need to pay attention to that. But capsule
Yeah,
may be your best shot or powder form, but we'll get to that in a little
mhm.
bit.
Yes, yes. Well, obviously, you've seen extreme strength gains,
Mhm.
but let's talk about things outside of the gym,
Yeah.
right? Because some women, that's not their goal is to get
Yeah.
stronger, and that's totally
Yeah.
fine. And not only do you increase strength, but even as you age, like we said, it's important to keep as much lean muscle on your
Mhm.
body as possible
Yeah.
because the more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you burn at rest. And that's just going to benefit you in the future, again, as we age. But outside of the gym, what are some benefits you've personally experienced and some things that you like to really like hone in on with your clients where strength may not really be their priority?
Yeah. Again, I'm going back to, just cognitive function. And, as we
Hmm.
age, obviously, everyone is in a different path as aging goes, but we tend to forget more things. And it also too, like if you're a very busy person, you're a mom of 3, 4 children,
Hmm.
and you have a full-time job, like your brain is already all over the place as it is. And this just helps kind of have a little bit more concentration, less anxiety over these things that would bring you the extra stress. And I think that's something that I've noticed myself. Um, gosh, that I would say that's the main thing that I really try and let my clients know. And then, just what it can do to help with hormone function. I can't say personally that, I'm experiencing perimenopause now, but I want to be able to, when that time comes, to be able to be ahead of the game. And I would say that's kind of one of other reasons why too that this has been kind of an important supplement for me to start incorporating, because I don't, if I get to perimenopause at like 55, I will take it. Like some women
Heck
start,
yes.
in their
Mm-hmm.
late 30s, and I don't want to be that person. And I do feel like a lot of that happens because of your internal health. And if I can be as healthy as can be, obviously, it's a nice little perk aesthetically, but internal health to me is way more important nowadays than it is to see aesthetic changes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the things that draws me the most and that would probably convince me to start taking creatine sooner than later is the improvement in mood and your
Yeah.
brain functioning.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, I geek out over psychology and the brain and all of those fun things. And so for me, I've dealt with anxiety throughout
Mhm.
my entire life. It's just genetic. All the women in my family are very high strung. And, um, that's something that's been exacerbated as I've gotten older. I mean, I run a business. That's not something that's stress free. And so there's been times where my anxiety has been out of control. And so it can help
Yeah.
with your neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. And because as our like estrogen levels fluctuate, serotonin and dopamine are affected.
Yep.
And so it can really help regulate your mood, but also, even for some people who may not experience anxiety, even depression, it
Yeah.
helps with that.
Yeah.
And, kind of, I may not be a mom, but I know that a lot of women deal with postpartum depression. I
Uh-huh.
know when you are a mom of one, two,
Yeah.
three, you have anxiety because you have so much on your plate. And so the creatine can help kind of regulate that so that you feel, even when your world around you is chaotic, you
Mhm.
still feel, in control internally because of creatine. And so it can really help with that. And I'm always a proponent of helping with mental health
Yeah.
because it starts there. If you're not taking care of your mental health, I mean, it's going
Yes.
to have a negative trickle effect to the rest of your body,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
So I love that part of it, and I think that's super important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so when it comes to women entering perimenopause or full-blown menopause, why has research shown that it's so beneficial for this age class?
I think it's the probably the impact on, again, like, hormone health. And as you again, right, when you get to that stage, and even through menopause, like, our bodies just naturally decline estrogen, or the hormone estrogen, and because of that, bone loss can be accelerated. But if you pair it with creatine, and then obviously you want to continue also strength training, like if you take creatine for what it is and not have to go to get your workouts, you're probably most likely going to get some sort of benefit from it regardless, right? But if you do add in the strength training, then that is also going to help with bone density and just reducing the risk of osteoporosis. And that's one of the things too that you have to, and this is for everybody, not just for women, is that bone density, that is something that's very important as we age, because we want to be able to do more things as we age. We want to be an able body, and this will help strengthen that. Side note too, make sure you wear your weighted vest, because I am also a big proponent of that at the same time. For also not so much to look cool, but yes, you can look like a badass, but walking around your neighborhood, yes, exactly. But when again, as we age, our bone density also decline, and adding in just any type of, any kind of resistance to our body can help. And also posture, as again, as we age, our posture also just takes a shot. Like, we don't really think about it that much, but like it does help. And then with that too, you're almost also engaging your core at the same time, because you're trying to make sure your posture is in the right form as you're walking through. But this is a completely different topic now. But
I was like,
they do
creatine
go
and a
yeah,
weight vest.
do
There you go.
put two and two together.
Yes, exactly. I love it. I know. if you follow Fairlane on Instagram, you see her always walking around like a badass in her weighted
Yeah.
vest in her neighborhood, and I love every minute of it.
I love too that, like, it's such a common thing now, like, the weighted vest is everyone's,
Mhm.
like, almost like, "Yes, like, this is what I love." I mean, there's obviously, there's a negative side of it, but there's a lot of positives on what we see
I
as
know. I
well.
was gonna say my one thing with the weighted vest is I have such a weak lower back, which I hate because I feel like I try to strengthen it all the time. But if I'm wearing a vest for too long, I start to feel it in my lower back.
Oh,
But
even more reason
maybe
why.
I was gonna say maybe I need to do it more so that it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Verlaine, you convinced me. I am buying creatine and a weighted, or actually, I already have a weighted
Oh, there
vest.
you go.
So here we
Yeah.
go. um, Okay, so we've hammered down some of the myths. Hopefully we've debunked them for you. We've shown you the positive benefits in the gym, outside of the gym. But now the $1,000,000 question is, where do I start from here?
Yeah.
What do you recommend? What type? Because there's different types of creatine
Yes.
out there, and then dosage, when to take it, etc.
Yeah.
So, for you specifically, do you take it post-workout, pre-workout? Like, does that really play a role, or can you take it anytime, any day?
Yeah, there's no I was using it before as a pre-workout, adding it to, like, my I wouldn't say I wasn't really taking a pre-workout before, but, like, I would drink it with just water right before a workout because I thought that maybe that's the best way, but, again, after doing my own research and kinda reading more about it, there's really um no right or wrong way of taking it because, again, what you're trying to do is just saturating it in your body. So as long as you're consistent, as long as you're taking it every day, 2 to 5 grams is enough. Like, you don't need anything, crazy unless, again, you're a bodybuilder or some sort where you're trying to actually, like, get to that point where you're showing more muscle definition, etc., where then you would probably want to saturate for a week and then lower your dosage. Again, don't overcomplicate it and just take it every single day, just like a multivitamin. And you can take it literally anytime. I don't have a certain time now because it's, I take the gummies and I just kind of pop it in my mouth whenever I see it. As long as I complete so I have to take, so to get the full 5 grams, I have to take 5 gummies. Yay me. So it's like
Yes.
candy throughout the day. So
Love it.
that's how I do it for me. And that,
Mhm.
again, that's really helped me to just, like, remember it, and I almost like doing it, like, right after a meal, because it again, it's like a nice little dessert for me. But
Yeah.
no, there
Nice little
is
sweet treat.
it is, exactly. Yeah, there's
Mhm.
no, perfect time for it, as long as you actually you take it consistently. The 2 forms that you can buy is a creatine monohydrate, which is the most common one and also the most research, and then there's also the hydrochloride. The hydrochloride is more water soluble, so blending it goes to liquid form a lot easier. It becomes more liquid a lot easier, but monohydrate is the one that has more research, that's more research back. So I would take the
Mhm.
monohydrate. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's really
And well,
anything
and
you
like
know.
Ferline was saying, anywhere between like 2 to 5
Yeah,
grams per day, but also another thing to kind of take note of yourself is we all digest and metabolize things
differently,
differently,
yeah.
right? And so some people can experience a little bit of GI issues when they
Yes.
first start supplementing it. So if that happens to you, break up your dosage multiple times throughout the day. It's better to kind of spread it out, allow your body to adapt and get used to it. And then you could probably take those full 2 to 5 grams all at
Mhm.
once.
Yeah.
But of course, that's based on the individual. And then the other side note that I wanted to add is drink tons and tons of, I mean, you
Yes.
already should be,
Yes.
tons of water and electrolytes, but even more so because creatine drives water into the muscle cells, which
Mhm.
increases the need for more hydration.
Yep.
So that's just something to really, really remember and keep top of mind if you do start supplementing with this. But like Verlaine said, you got to find the rhythm, the routine that works best for you. Just a few little caveats to kind of consider
Yes.
if you do experience any like side effects, at least just at the beginning, and just know your body will adapt because this is something
Mhm.
that's already in
In
our
our bodies,
bodies. It's
yeah.
not, again, a foreign substance. And so just tread lightly and then find the rhythm for you specifically,
Yeah.
essentially.
It's like right
So, yeah.
now, it's just a little drips of water, but then you just full blown turn the faucet on when you start using it.
Yes.
I love analogies.
Yeah. You sure and you are chock full of them. I love it.
That just like popped out of nowhere. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But
yes,
yes.
yes. Well, I think that's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
We don't wanna overcomplicate it. We
No.
just wanted to kind of give you the basics,
Yeah.
our recommendation, and then why Verlaine takes it and why I most likely am gonna start supplementing it.
I'm curious, like,
Um
like, if you do start taking it, like, how it affects you, because I know, again, this is through, like, research and, podcasts and listening to podcasts, but, like, one of the things I've listened to was, 80-year-old grandma was taking it, and she was, like, very slow moving, she wasn't very active, and once her body started really, like, using it and she was consistent with it, she was going on, like, daily walks, so she saw, like, benefits of it, and that's where I'm more curious about too, is because obviously, as you get older, there are different things that cognitive functions decline and just your body be kind of declining in a way too. So I'm more curious of that now because, again, for the healthy person, yes, you're going to benefit from it regardless, but you may not see it right away, right? You may not notice it because you're already so healthy. But for someone that actually like could potentially make a life-changing thing for it, like that's what I want to know more of because it is. Again,
Totally.
yeah, like, it's
Mhm.
just, it's been talked about so much, and there's just so much research behind it, I wanna learn more about that because I want
Yeah.
my mom taking it. I want, people that are around me taking it, and even if they're like I mean, they're already there's so many different things out there, like, people are so easy to, like, buy a fat burner, but they can't
Exactly.
which is
I
there's
know,
no,
right?
like, science behind it, but for a creatine, supplement like creatine, they're
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm scared of it, no." I'm like, "What?"
Mhm. I know. Well, even like for me, and it's sad to say, but I'm not even 33 yet, and my memory is shit.
Yeah.
And it may just maybe because I just have a million things I'm thinking about all the time, but I want to see if it improves my memory.
Yeah.
My short term memory
Yeah.
is horrible. And then the other thing is how I talked about a little bit earlier that I've always like dealt with anxiety and
Mhm.
whatnot, and that's really disrupted my sleep in the past.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
some nights I have great sleep, some nights I still struggle with sleep. And so I would actually be very curious if creatine would help me in that sense because serotonin and
Mm.
dopamine help you
Yes.
sleep
Yes.
and stay asleep. And so if those things aren't being basically
Yeah, being
dumped into
normalized,
me
yeah.
enough,
Yeah.
yeah, creatine may help me,
That's true.
produce more. And then therefore it's going to have a trickle effect on my sleep. And
Yeah.
so those would be my two things that I'm really going to look out for
Yeah.
in terms of improvement once I start taking it.
Is your friend
Because,
taking it already?
yeah.
Gianna, right? She was into
Yeah,
it.
she was looking at
Yeah.
it. I haven't really asked her
Okay.
if
She started.
she has seen if she started or if she's seen any results,
Yeah.
but I would wanna start with me first and then honestly tell, my mom,
Yeah.
and my mom will never listen to this, so I can say this, but her memory is
Oh, yeah, yeah,
going,
yeah.
okay? I mean, she's in her 70s, so
Yes.
rightfully so,
Yeah.
and she's stubborn, and so she's like, "No, I'm fine, I'm fine," and I'm like, "You just told me the same thing 5 times in a row."
Yeah.
So, I would if it improves my memory, then it's something that I'm gonna push her to start doing, just obviously, as we age,
Yes.
our memory loss
Yes.
comes
Oh,
into play,
yeah.
and so I'll be the guinea pig, and then I will rave about it once I see kind of some of those
There you
changes,
go.
but yes. Well, hopefully we've kind of not or we've turned this subject into
Yes.
something that's not as scary.
Yeah.
And as always, before you really dive into it, talk to one of us, your coaches, or, get medical advice if you feel safer
Mhm.
doing so. But just know it is the most researched thing out there and it is safe to supplement with it. So, any last thoughts for Lane?
Ah, gosh. No, I think we covered most of it, but if you guys are still considering it or maybe have any more questions about it, like would be happy to answer anything that I can, and kind of give you even more of a take of my personal experience with it. But I was also very skeptic. Like, I was in that same position too at one point, and I would say that's probably the best supplement that I've taken that has really helped me in just overall health, not just, muscle and, the gym or whatever else you just see of me to fit with fitness and nutrition, but it's helped my overall, I would say, my overall health for sure.
Amazing. Well, let's end it on that positive note.
Sounds good.
So, thanks for joining us, and until next time.
Bye, guys.